Guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Allie, and today I'll be sharing with you 3 more DIY Christmas projects. These are some really fun projects. They're easy for you to do. They don't require a lot of fancy materials, so I'm excited to share them with you today. If you saw my first video for Christmas DIYs, then you already sort of know my style, you know what to expect. If not, definitely go back and give that one a watch, and I'll link it for you below, along with any products that I have that I can link for you. I'm also going to be sharing with you a really great storage solution. A lot of you guys have asked, where do you store your Christmas items? How do you store your Christmas items? So I've got a really great solution that I'm excited to share with you. So huge thank you and shout out to my sponsor for today's video, Flexi Mounts. If you like videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're getting notified every time I upload a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. That really helps my channel, and I love hearing from you guys, so I really appreciate that. This video should be a fun one. I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, let's get into the DIYs. All right, so we're going to get started with the lantern swags that I'm going to be adding to my outdoor lantern. So I'm starting with this one very full stem that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm adding to it these 2 burlap poinsettias. I thought that these were so pretty, and I really like that they have a nice rustic, very natural feel to them. I'm also going to be adding some red velvet ribbon, and I'm going to be using this wire wrap. You can use floral tape. This is just what I had on hand. So I thought that I would try just tearing this down the center, and it actually came apart really easily. So I'm going to use one of these for each of my lanterns. And as you can see, I'm just carefully bending the stem and doing the same thing to the other one. And I'll just be hooking these on the lanterns very simply, no fuss. Adding one of those poinsettias to the lantern, and I'm just bending the top so that it takes the same shape as that hooked area. And as you'll see in just a minute, I'm going to be using that wreath wire to just sort of secure everything in place. So again, if you do have floral tape on hand, you can certainly use that instead. This is just what I had at home, so I was working with what I already had. And now I'll just repeat the same process for the second swag. Now it's time to add a very simple, nice and classy red velvet ribbon. I think this just really makes these swags pop. I love the contrast between the beautiful soft red velvet and then the burlap poinsettias. I think overall adding this very simple ribbon to the top just gives this a very finished look. I think it's always nice to add a touch of ribbon. It gives it that texture and just that festive holiday feel. This was a really simple, really quick project, and now that they're both done, it's time to add them to my lanterns on my front porch. Again, because I hooked it, they go on nice and easy, and they just came out absolutely beautiful. I love how they look with the gold on the lantern, and I like the contrast, even with the stone behind it. I'm just really happy with how this all turned out. I think that the burlap poinsettias, again, are just such a beautiful, really natural way to bring in the season. And I always like to include natural elements just to keep everything nice and grounded. And I think that they turned out gorgeous. I have a lot of items to store, especially now that I'm switching up from fall to my winter decor. And you guys, I had to share with you, this is an UnderBed Storage from the company Flexi Mounts. And this is one of the coolest and functional storage pieces that I have owned to date. Now, as you've already seen, it's got wheels on the bottom. It has these really nice little toggle lock switches that you can lock the top of them. You can open it, as I showed you earlier, from either the left side or the right side, and that toggle switch is really easy to use. It also comes with these little handles, so they're very easy to grab. You've got a handle on either side. And I also really like that it has this little area in the top for insect repellent, mothballs, whatever you want to call them. I like that it has a lid. It's just very convenient, and they're also stackable. So you can slide these underneath the bed. They're actually called UnderBed Storage. They're made to fit under a standard size bed, or you can store them in your garage or a storage unit, and they stack really easily. This is how they ship, so I wanted to show you how compact they are. So even if you're not using them, you can fold them down and make them really nice and compact. So you can store your storage, which is very convenient. And as you can see, they just very simply pop into place, and you just lift up all 4 sides of them and then just snap them together so they stay nice and secure. And then that lid just goes right on top and snaps easily into place. I love the convenience of the wheels on the bottom, so even if you have multiple of these stacked one on top of the other, you can move them around very easily. These are also a great size. They're pretty big, so as you can see, I'm folding up 2 of my garlands here, as well as 2 of my lantern swags that I just made, and a whole bundle of my stems, along with my average size wreath that I created in my last DIY video. That wreath is about 14 inches, just the frame, and then as you can see, I added a lot of floral stems to it. So I do that to show you guys just how much space these containers actually have. And you can use these not just for decor items, but of course you can use these for shoes, for sweaters, for books, blankets, really anything that you need to store. So now that I've got some storage put away, we're moving on to my second DIY, and this is a dupe of something that I saw on the Grandin Road website. They are these festive urn fillers. They're beautiful for the holidays, and I'm going to be putting one of each on either side of my front doorway for Christmas. So starting out with some floral foam, and then I also have this piece of floral foam that goes right into a planter, and I saturated it so that it's nice and soaked with water because I'll be adding a bunch of different winter greenery, which I picked up in bunches from my local grocery store, but you can also use cuttings if you have a lot of trees on your property. These are 2 bunches of these birch branches that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and then these are some really pretty lit twigs. I'm going to be adding these in at the end. They come with an adapter plug so that they're ready to go, and they look gorgeous at night when they're all lit up. And I've got a couple of red berry stems and pine cone picks that I'll be adding to each of the planters. So to start off, I'm just stacking the floral foam at the bottom, and then I'm adding in that pre-soaked piece of foam there. I just want to make it so that it's at level with the top of each of the planters. And now I'm going to go ahead and just insert 3 of my birch branches in either of the planters. You can really do this however you like. I like to do 2 in the back and 1 in the front, and as you'll see later, I'm going to be readjusting them as I go, so don't get too worried about getting them into an exact spot. You can always readjust and play with them more later. And I'll be using the tried and true method that you may have heard of before. It's called thrill, fill, and spill. So the thrillers are the birch branches, and now I'm going in with a bunch of filler, and these are the different sort of winter greenery, and in the back I'm adding in the larger ones. So these are these pine and spruce branches, and then as you'll see in the front, I'm going to be sort of allowing the front ones to spill out of them. There's no right way to do this, and like I said earlier, you can see I'm rearranging those birch branches. All you want to do is just make sure that you fill it up and that you make it to your liking. Everybody has different tastes. I like to start out using one type of branch, and then I'm going in with this second type of branch just to sort of spill that out and add some different texture in there. And now the pine is going in the back. And now I'm adding in the 2 berry branches along with the 2 pine cone picks to give it a nice finished look. And I'm already loving how this is turning out. Now I'm going in for the second one, and I'm just repeating the process, adding my larger stems to the back, moving around the birch stems as needed, and then just filling and spilling with everything that I've got left. This whole process was actually pretty quick and fun to do. I love when you can make things to your liking and that you don't need to be too perfect or precise about it. I think that when you add in the winter greenery with the black planters and those birch logs, pop in some red berries, you really can't go wrong. So now I'm adding in those pre-lit twigs, and I've got 2 sets of them, and 5 come in a set. And I'm just arranging them. Again, no perfect way to do it, just having them stick out nicely so that they'll look really pretty at night. And I'm going to be flanking my entryway with one of each of these. And now that I've swapped out our wreath and lantern sprigs that I made earlier, I finally lit the branches and they came out gorgeous. I love how beautiful they turned out. They give just the perfect soft glow. I love that abundance of winter greenery coming out of those black planters. And I think between the wreath and the sprigs and just the overall feel of it with the birch logs, our house is looking so festive at night. So moving on to the third DIY that I'm doing today, you might remember a few weeks back when I picked up some of these vintage frames from HomeGoods at really great prices. So I decided that I wanted to make a gallery wall in our guest room, and I'm going to be painting these frames a little bit just to give them a more cohesive look when they all go up together on the wall. So I've got some black paint, then I have this metallic glaze, this bronzy kind of paint. I've got some Mod Podge to seal everything in, and I also have a gold paint, which I'll show you later and I linked for you below. Now I'm just taping off the front of these frames so that I don't drip any paint on the glass. And I'm going to take away some of that really bright gold, and I'm going to be covering that with this black paint. I'm not being precise about it because I actually like when that gold shines through from beneath it. I don't mind that gold coming through. I just didn't want it to be so bright gold. I'm doing the same thing here with this oval frame, which, by the way, I love this frame. I just think it's so pretty. And same kind of look. I really don't mind that gold peeking out through the bottom. I just want to sort of make it more black than it is gold. Now I'm adding a little bit of that bronze paint along with that gold paint. And I'm just going to be going in and sort of adding a little bit of that worn in vintage kind of feel by just taking a wet paper towel. And this looks messy right now, but I'm going to be blending this all in to just give it that sort of washed finish. And I'll be taking that same bronze gold paint and going around the larger frame as well, just sort of dotting different areas and then going in with a wet paper towel and just blending it all out. Now I decided to go in with that golder paint and just brighten up this gold paint so that it has a closer match to that other gold frame. Now that I've finished and I like the way that they're all looking, I'm just adding a layer of Mod Podge over all of them just to seal them in. And now it's time to add my prints that I ordered off of Etsy. I am so excited for these prints. You might remember them from a few weeks back when I showcased them on one of my Shop With Me's, but I purchased one set off of Etsy, which had a really nice Christmas feel, and then I ordered 2 separate ones that were a little bit more darker and moody, but still had that Christmas and holiday festive feel to them. I love having the option to be able to use these frames for these gorgeous winter prints, and then when the spring comes I can swap them out for something brighter. But for the time being, I'm so happy with how they turned out and I cannot wait to hang them on the wall. This is the wall that I'm going to be using in our guest room. I'm going to remove these 2 larger pictures and add in these gallery frames. So right now I'm just sort of seeing where I can place them. That first one I had a nail already in the wall, but for these next ones I'm going to be using these small little command strips. I love these strips because they don't damage my walls. This is not a paid promotion. I'm just sharing with you guys how I like to hang my stuff here at the house. And right now I'm just sort of trying to figure out if I want them more spread apart or more together, and I think in this case I want to have them a little bit closer together just to really make a moment on this side of the wall. I think if we have guests this holiday season, it'll just really cozy up the room and make it feel really warm and inviting. And that is exactly how it feels to me. I am in love with how this turned out. I added a little red velvet ribbon to that wall sconce there, and I just think it adds the perfect touch for the holidays. I have bigger plans for this guest room. I plan on doing a guest room upgrade, renovation. I'm definitely going to be painting here after the holidays, so I'm not showing the full room here just yet, but I am just showing you this side of the wall. And I also wanted to share that I decided to take that smaller oval frame and just rest it right on top of that piece of furniture in there. I think it just brings a nice piece of holiday charm and festiveness to the furniture, and it just sort of carries out that feeling and that cohesiveness coming from the gallery wall. Overall, I totally love it, and I think that my guests will as well. So that's it for today, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed these projects that I've shared with you. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think down below. I really love to hear which project was your favorite. Do you guys do something similar? Share with me your ideas and if you learned something today. If you like this video, definitely make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss any videos that I upload. I really love hearing what you guys think. It also really helps my channel, so I really appreciate it. I love that you guys are here and that I'm able to make videos like this and that you're really loving them. I read all of your comments. I love hearing from you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you all have a great Thanksgiving, and stay tuned because I've got lots more holiday content coming and I can't wait to share it with you. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.